This is my first time ever playing the Burning Crusade. Didn't play it in 2007, didn't play it in 2021. So naturally, I had absolutely no idea what I was signing up for. I started TBC in 2026 with a few friends, and honestly, before I ever logged in, I already had this romanticized view of the expansion. You know the one. People talk about TBC like it's the golden age of WoW. Hard raids, meaningful progression, real class identity, loot that actually matters. I'm looking at you, Dragonspine Trophy. Basically, everything people claim modern WoW is missing. And after watching old videos from Preach talking about TBC like it was some sacred relic, I was sold. This was supposed to be peak WoW, and at first, it kind of felt like it. We started out with Gruul and McFaradon in phase 1. It was easy, like suspiciously easy. We cleared both raids in around 45 minutes. Bosses died, loot dropped. Nobody really struggled except for all those melee DPS longing for that Dragonspine Trophy, am I right? And I generally started thinking, wait, is TBC actually just easier than people remember? That thought aged like milk, because what I didn't understand was I was playing post-nerf content. And as someone who never played TBC before, I had no clue what that actually meant in the raid scene. All I knew was everything was dying, and I was feeling way too confident. Which is dangerous, because confidence in TBC is usually just a setup before public humiliation. Fast forward to Sunday, May 14th. First time for the guild to step into Serpentshrine Caverns. I was hyped, like genuinely excited. I had just watched the phase 2 world first race with progress. 48 minutes, clean pulls, smooth mechanics, bosses falling over. And in my infinite wisdom I thought, this doesn't look too hard. Huge mistake on my part. Because there's a massive difference between watching skilled players do mechanics and watching your own raid attempts those same mechanics. So, we zone in, first trash, super smooth, no issues. And that was enough to fool me again. We get up to Hydross, the unclean. First pull, immediate wipe. DPS were pumping way too hard and the tank was standing where he wasn't supposed to. The boss swaps face, the raid explodes, great start. Second pull, well, that's on me. I completely misunderstood the debuff as the raid leader. I honestly thought it was gonna stack like every other debuff in this fucking game, but instead it just increased the potency. So naturally, wipe number 2. And at this point I'm already being humbled at record speed. Third pull, actually not bad. Few players discover that threat is still a mechanic in TBC post-nerf raids and instantly die. But somehow the boss dies too. Hydross down, confidence partially restored, and off we go. Next up, the Lurker Below. And if you know this boss, you already know where this is going. Our druid ninja pulled the boss with fishing. Yes, fishing. So before we even start properly, we wipe. Already beautiful content. We run back, we buff up again. We try again for the second attempt. The ads spawn, tanks get clapped. Why? Well, honestly, I'm not the only one to blame here, but you know, I was busy pressing circle of healing to get the top of the healing meters instead of actually healing the tank. Peak priest gameplay, if I'm being completely honest. Another wipe. Third attempt, something miraculous happens. We assign some proper CC. People actually avoid spout instead of getting shot off throughout the whole raid. Players begin displaying signs of intelligence, and somehow the lurker dies. Huge win. And at this point I'm thinking, maybe we'd figure this place out. Oh, let me tell you, we had not. Next up, we're going to talk about the real end boss of this godforsaken raid. The trash. One of our tanks, the paladin, goes AFK, probably to take a shit or take a smoke. I don't know which way. But no worries, we still have backups. Surely trash can't be the issue. Surely. We wipe to trash, not once, but twice. Because an underbug colossus got aggroed from a totem. Yes, a totem. Not a miss pull, not an accidental body pull, a totem. And this is where TBC finally clicked for me. This expansion punishes everything. Threat matters, CC matters, positioning matters, apparently even totem placement matters. One person makes a mistake, congratulations, 24 other people might now be corpse running for a couple of minutes. Eventually though, we managed to clear ourselves all the way up to the trash before the next boss in this raid, Leotheras the Blind. And somehow our guild collectively decided that crowd control was apparently optional, because CC got broken instantly by Consecration and Seed of Corruption. And to be honest, I wondered if I would ever even survive this raid or become a bold, grey-haired man. But somehow we managed to recover, we pushed through, and then we stand before the boss, Leotheras the Blind. And when you look at this Illidan wannabe, he looks pretty easy. He has a human face, he has a demon face with a warlock tank, and then we need to handle both. Sounds pretty easy, right? We start the fight, he goes to whirlwind like a warrior bouncing between the raid, and guess what he does? Like most other bosses here, yeah, he threat resets. So the reset comes, and this is where everything falls apart. Again, people continue blasting, the boss runs everywhere, raid collapses, wipe. Second pull goes a bit smoother, we actually make it into the demon phase, and we wipe again. Why, you might ask? Well, because we couldn't let the warlock get enough threat. So naturally, everyone dies again. But somehow, if it even could, it gets even worse. Before the next pull, while we're resurrecting people, one of our paladins steps too close and pulls the boss. Raid wipes, without even pulling, without doing a single spell to the boss, we managed to wipe. At this point it honestly felt scripted, like there was no way this was real. But after all that chaos, something magical happened. We locked in, people focused up, mechanics got respected, and somehow Leotheras finally died. A massive win. Our raid time was over after that. Unfortunately I had work the next day, so I missed the follow-up raid, but apparently the guild went on to kill both Morgrim Tidewalker and Fallen Lord Carithras. And even had some progression on Lady Vash. And honestly, after this experience, I was even more excited. Because now I finally understood why people love TBC. Not because it's easy, definitely not because it's forgiving, but because progression actually feels meaningful. Every boss feels earned, every kill feels like a real accomplishment, and as a first-time TBC player in 2026, that's exactly what I was looking for. So if you want to follow my first ever TBC journey, subscribe, and also let me know what was your average SSC experience.